what does not make sense? This Jimmy Butler situation. Now, 2 weeks ago, Jimmy Butler wanted a trade. It's kind of been in the workings for a while that Jimmy Butler was unhappy with the Miami Heat. He said it himself. I want to get my joy back playing basketball. But then there are other things in this story that don't make sense, right? Like an accounting error on the Miami's Heat side where Jimmy Butler went without a paycheck for 10 days, where he was allegedly punished. Oh, man, I'm not getting your check. If your check was 10 days late, Daniel, you'd be
He's a millionaire, though. He's a millionaire.
You'd be stressing too, Daniel.
That right there, that's why I hate poor people.
If your check was, he can live, but still, it's weird that it only happens to Jimmy. That's a little odd. We also have him allegedly, people talking about it behind closed doors for missing flights during the finals and things like that, where all those flights were to see his father, who unfortunately passed away. He was, getting scrutiny from the organization. There's also Pat Riley in this whole thing that's not, making a lot of sense. He's kind of taking it in jest, going on podcasts saying, maybe I am washed. I'm like, well, you might be, Pat, but we're not here to talk about Pat Riley just yet. I want to get y'all thoughts on this Jimmy Butler thing, kind of the whole overall opinions of the Miami Heat organization. Have they fumbled? Are they doing right by Jimmy? Is Jimmy in the wrong? What are y'all thoughts on that? And then we're going to get into potential trade destinations for Jimmy Butler as well.
I think for me, I feel like it's kind of like a good situation for him. Like you said, he wants to get his joy back within basketball, and maybe he can get his anywhere, honestly. But I think at the same time, Jimmy Butler has been kind of like in this loophole where he's on a team, then he doesn't like the organization or the players, or doesn't like what the organization is doing around him. Yes, a lot of organizations have done him dirty over the past. I'm not saying they haven't. But I feel like if he does go to another team, then he might just have the same situation over. Who knows? He might not. But I think from the looks of it, I feel like anywhere he goes, he wants to be, he could say, yeah, I'll go anywhere and I'll be happy. But are you telling me that you're going to go to Detroit and you're going to be happy? Yeah, I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
I don't think that's what he means, Daniel. He wants to be in a contending team, obviously. He doesn't want to be with a team that's always losing. So he's not going to be happy with Detroit. He's going to want to be winning. He's going to want to be the teams that are top contenders, let's say the Bucks, but that's not going to fit with him. His spacing is not going to work. But going on with what Daniel is saying, oh my bad. Yeah, Miami isn't doing right with him, but at the same time, Jimmy Butler has not been doing right with Miami, talking all this crap about him, and that's why when he was coming back, the players literally didn't want him coming back. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying, "Oh, we don't want him back here." They literally don't want him back because Jimmy Butler has his big ego on himself, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the best player on here. They probably need me," which I don't think they really do because even with him, they've still been doing bad. Just this season.
I think the best thing to come out of this is the Kevin Love Hall of Fame run on Instagram. I think that's the best thing to come out of here. The stuff he's posting. Someone take Unk's phone. They're saying he single-handedly made Jimmy stay, though. There's that he's the reason why Jimmy wants to stay.
Really, Kevin Love?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. On Twitter, they're like, "I'm gonna buy all the Kevin Love jerseys now."
I think the best way to put it, Jimmy Butler is the Jalen Green of Michael Jordan's. He's the Jalen Green of Michael Jordan's. Allow me to explain. He has the mentality, right? He has that Jordan, if you want to win with me, you got to put in the work, etc., etc. He can take over when needed at times, but he doesn't have the skill set like Jordan or like Kobe. He's in a lifelong battle with DeMar DeRozan with better playmaking. And then we also got to remember, he's not consistent. There will be some series where Jimmy will give you 57 and knock the Bucks out, and then give you 40 in the closeout on the road. The year before that, Bucks handed them the belt. They got swept. Actually, no, that was true. Year before that, or 2021, Bucks got swept by the Bucks. They got handed the belt.
The year after COVID, they got swept.
Yeah, so he's not consistent enough in these Jordan-esque heroics, in these, Game 5, I'm so tired because I put up a 40-point triple-double on Braun. He's not consistent enough in those things. Again, Jalen Green will show us flashes of being great. Played great in the Nuggets game where they beat the Nuggets by 20-something a couple nights ago. Then they're going to play a team like the Blazers, and Jalen Green's going to go 8 of 23, and they're going to lose. The Jalen Green of Michael Jordan's is Jimmy Butler.
I think
And
it's a bit of an. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I mean cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say you can't like command that level. You can command that level of respect, but you also got to be consistent or very realistic about where you are in your career. And being a 35-year-old, I think Royce was telling me this with a $52 million player option. Nobody's gonna want to pick that up unless you Bron, Steph, or KD at your age, where the league is going in a very much younger direction in terms of the guys that can compete for championships. Got to be realistic.
Yeah, I think it's like a bit of entitlement as well from Jimmy because, you got the playoff Jimmy stuff, but we haven't seen that in 2 years. Last year he was injured, he ain't play. So it's like, you're not that player anymore. Jimmy Butler's surefire Hall of Famer. Like, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's a great player, multiple-time All-Star, but he has to realize he's not that player anymore. You can't be like, oh, I'm this number one guy, and you're like the 12th seed with 15 wins. And then to say, I'd rather go to Phoenix and be the third option behind Katie and Buck and then be the first option here. And I was like, you're barely the first option now.
I feel like, like going off what it is, you're barely the first option now. So, like, I feel like your ego is just going to get to you. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a great player. But I haven't been surprised. I'm not surprised that hasn't, like, practically, like, let him out the league, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, he's a great player, but I feel like
Jimmy Butler, he's obviously not the best player anymore. I've been protecting him for a long time already.
You just say that
I can't protect him anymore, bro. He's not him anymore. He hasn't been him in a while.
Not. Yeah,
literally, Samaje has said it a few episodes ago. He went on a whole rant about that.
He might be the most overrated player in this league's history since Derrick Rose. I'm so serious about that.
The first ever BoxInOne, right?
Jimmy Butler, bro. He does not. He is
Meet
not
the
that
Butlers.
person
Meet the
he
Butlers.
is.
Meet the Butlers.
He's not that person we think he is anymore. Tyler Harrison doing all that to the Heat and not Butler. Like literally, I don't see Butler doing anything else for any other team either way. Like
like that man dropped
you could take him to the Mavericks, he won't do for them at all, bro. He does not have the offense. Like obviously he has an offensive back, but it still won't be enough to be like to make them a final contender. It won't be enough to like win them a finals. He won't win a finals ring ever, because like first his huge ass, he'll probably be mad again with like if he's like with some other all-star like, oh yeah, this is taking my spot. I don't want that. It's like he's take me to another team. I want to be the number one person. Yeah. He's gonna be like, let's say like Kyrie when he went to Boston.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's not that, bro. He's not that anymore, bro.
Well,
When he went to Miami, when he first went to Miami, like he was first like that. But like literally as season like progressed, like bro, he's not that anymore. He's getting old. He's gonna have to accept the fact that he's old. How old is he now? He's like 34.
35.
35
years old. He's not gonna be like that anymore.
I can check right now. Jimmy Butler.
35
age.
making 52 mils.
And he's been getting injured too. Like bro, your body's degrading. You're not gonna be that player.
Yeah,
anymore.
35. 36 in September of this year.
Jeez.
I think it's also a habit of Jimmy. Before we wrap up, I think if we remember too, the Timberwolves team, he had the same type of mentality. Like, yo, I want to leave because I'm the best player on this team. I'm gonna take the bench guys.
I'll take it there. Like, on that year, he was the best player, but like literally, he's old as now, bro. You're not that. player anymore.
But the thing is,
he
was the best player. But remember, this was a Timberwolves team, I believe, that had Wiggins, that had Cat. I don't think they had Levine.
No, they didn't.
I don't think they didn't have Levine.
They traded him for Levine.
But he still left. And then that could have been a big three he could have developed. You also had Jeff Teague over there. That was not a bad team. Then you go to the Sixers, and I get it. Tobias Harris getting more money than you is insulting. I get it. But you are one shot away from going to the NBA Finals because I think the Sixers beat the Bucks that year because Ben Simmons was actually playing well.
Yeah.
Soon as Jimmy Butler left, more offensive pressure got put on Tobias Harris, and it got put on Ben Simmons, which is slowly where the decline of Ben Simmons started happening. If Jimmy stays on that team, Ben Simmons' issues never get exposed. He can just facilitate. You had J.J. Redick. That was a great Sixers team, and Jimmy left after 1 to 2 seasons because, I want to be the number one option, losing on that one shot hurt. Brother, it's probably the greatest playoff shot in NBA history. Outside of Kyrie's 3, that Kawhi Leonard jump shot is the number 2 shot without question. Yeah, you can go, Dan.
I think like kind of put it in perspective. I feel like he is what the media kind of described as Kyrie Irving. I feel like Kyrie Irving was never the issue in any teams. The media made him the issue.
Boston.
We said this a few episodes ago. But Jimmy Butler, there's been enough evidence that we've talked about and that the media has described as well. I know we just talked about the media like the big Kyrie Irving, but they're right. They're right. Even his agent is like, no, like they're turning against the media. The media is like, you know what? Yeah, he wants to request a trade. And they're like, no, he doesn't. And he requested a trade. And
He's making it obvious.
he makes it
Yeah.
obvious. And he pretty much
Yeah.
is what the media described Kyrie Irving. And that's what
That's
I
a
have.
great take.
Yeah.
That's a great take because when you actually look at tanking team chemistry, we're not going to talk about the content of the documentary, but a documentary link is not go. I think maybe it can do damage in terms of the negative spotlight to put on the team, but actually in terms of Kyrie's morale to want to play with the team, his performance never dropped off. The only time you can really say is like the 2019 Boston series with the Bucks. That's the only time like it looked like he checked out to me. Outside of that, even with Boston, outside of the whole like if y'all have me back, I want to resign. He was playing great for us too. When Jimmy Butler checks, when your leader checks out, why do you want to go to battle? Why you wanna put on the armor if your general like, yeah, bro, we finna get smoked, I'm out. Why are you gonna go to battle then? He's supposed to be Heat culture. Heat culture is Jimmy Butler, right? The best Heat player after LeBron and D Wade, Jimmy Butler. Well, you getting outplayed by Tyler Hero right now, and that's not a diss to Tyler Hero, but also is the guy who's supposed to be that number one for sure lockdown option. Your game really hasn't expanded. You've gotten slower on offense and defense. You no longer they was putting him in the best two-way player in the league conversations for the longest time up until like 2022. It was like, oh, Jimmy Butler, one of the best two-way players in the league. He's like Russ with a jump shot. Oh my gosh, if he gets a 3-game, it's over. Never got the 3-game consistently. Like he'll have those moments where he's on a heater. But outside of that, I think that's a perfect way to put it, Daniel. When you are a locker room cancer. It's the same thing with Russ. You always call him a vampire on the Lakers, and that's our next topic. When Russ just needed a new environment.
Yeah,
You
but I think
can't-
also that too, yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
you can't. No, you can go.
Yeah, my bad. But I think he might just need a new environment. But like at the same time, like he's been in different environments. Sixers,
Yeah.
Heat, Bulls. Like, come on. Like he's been
T-Wolves.
and he still has that toxicity. Look at Kyrie Irving. Yeah, Kyrie, like I guess the media described him as
Kyrie grew as a
like, when he-
person.
when he
Jimmy
went to-
Butler
when he
hasn't.
when he went to Boston, maybe people said he was toxic, but who knows? But the thing is, NBA players never said that. But then when he finally went to the Mavs, media stops talking about him. Media stops talking
Yeah.
about him because he just becomes a hooper. At least that's what the media thinks, or maybe he just was a hooper the whole time. But yeah, like I don't know if you get what I'm saying, guys, but
No, I get.
I feel like he's like, oh, I'm gonna be happy, but is he really gonna be happy on a contender? Think about it.
I don't think there's a contender that can get him a ring. I don't think there's a contender that can get him a
Not only
ring.
that, but like his contract won't allow him like to get that. He's gonna be
Mhm.
a and teams are gonna have to give up so much just to get him. How much is he getting? He's getting paid like 35, I believe. I don't know. I'll check that out right
No,
now.
it's way more. It's like
Player option's
48.
52 mil.
Yeah, I never any seen. Look at that. His contract is like literally in the way.
And I feel like
His
team
contract
is
is literally in the way of like
crazy.
going to any other teams.
And
Like
plus, then
I
like
was checking out some other some trade options for him. The Mavericks would have to give up Daniel Gafford, basically the entire most of their important pieces, most of the pieces that helped them go to the finals last year. And I doubt the Mavericks are gonna do that. Why are you gonna give up so much for one player who's obviously shown so much toxicity for so many teams? And let's say if the Mavericks don't do good, Jimmy Butler could be upset again, bro. Like that be worth it.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. What if you send like all your assets and then he just walks? Because
The
that was
only
the whole
team
thing
that's-
with when the Mavericks traded with Kyrie.
Mhm.
Like,
And
was he
looking
gonna-
back, sorry to cut you off, Rose. Looking back, that Kyrie trade was low key kind of light because the only things they lost were Dinwiddie, they lost DFS, and they lost some picks. That Mavs trade for Kyrie was a heist in all honesty. Looking back at how much he's performed and like what he's actually done for that team, that's a fleece. Mark Cuban, you was in your Sam Presti bag for that. I gotta respect it. I
Yeah,
gotta
that was
respect it.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm glad he stayed as a Maverick. Kyrie saying
Yeah.
the best things happened to him. I
Yes.
remember when people were like, including me, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna go to LA. He's gonna play LeBron again.
What is
But
next?
maybe he didn't want to play LeBron. So maybe he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. He's gonna do his own thing.
Sorry,
And,
Gwen.
yeah.
I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't think you've seen that movie, Royce. You haven't seen Across the Spider Verse, have you?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Pixar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know.
I'm tapped in. Don't worry.